I'm Hương Tran, professional communication student and activist. I'm passionate about zero waste and sustainable living. I'm a massive believer that waste is the most concerning, universal issue that must be well managed in any society. In Vietnam, recycling has been a very informal activity, performed mainly by waste pickers who want to earn some extra money. Waste isn't separated at the source. 60 to 65% all end up in landfills. The rest end up in our waterways and by the roads. If we don't treat it right, waste will come back. Yes, surprisingly, in our bodies. Those single-use plastics that we conveniently purchase and dump every day are washed down into the ocean. After a period of sun exposure, they are disintegrated into tiny pieces called plastic smoke and then consumed by sea creatures and birds. In other words, plastics have entered our food chain, circling around and accumulating toxins in our bodies. If we give it the right treatment, waste can be so valuable. Waste can be separated into different categories: organics, recyclable, soft plastic, electronic, and charity waste. The prototype that we should definitely put out for testing is compactor bins, which handle specific waste types. It's preferable to uncompacted waste as it requires less space, fewer bins, therefore combat odor, overflowing problems, and keep a pleasant look for the city. It's painful to look at food waste rotting in landfills while if it's composted, it is such a valuable asset. In a nutshell, compost is a collection of organic waste that decompose after several months and eventually turns into humus, an extremely nutrient-rich soil. You need an equal amount of browns and greens. Browns are the tree matters. Greens are more wet stuff. Composting keeps materials out of landfills, returns nutrients to farms, and reduces the production of very potent greenhouse gases. Being among top 6 countries in Asia responsible for discarding millions tons of plastics in the ocean every year, Vietnam must take immediate actions to recycle plastics. Soft plastics that can be scrunched into a bowl are collected, then shredded into tiny pieces, further densified into little pellets, mixed with thicker recycled plastics, and turned into products that last over 40 years. By sending our government representatives to visit the facilities currently recycling waste, we can learn how to replicate what's being done. In order to welcome a new wave of smart citizens, we have to start with awareness. Especially with the youth, we must first teach them to become responsible citizens, from classifying waste, using tote bags when shopping, refusing single-use plastics whenever possible, to making their own natural products at home. The government can open a competition to attract young marketers who are willing to contribute ideas for an effective raising awareness campaigns that reward people for separating their waste and bringing them to waste stations. We need a strict law that requires residents and businesses to separate waste. The city government has to connect and send the message across effectively to all concerning stakeholders. I don't believe that the burden of waste should have to fall on consumers. I think first that burden should fall on businesses that are manufacturing these products that create waste. They must offer a take-back and recycle service in exchange for discounts or use biodegradable packaging. The government should help expand existing eco-friendly startups into bookshops or package-free shops.
Cities in Vietnam should aim to be zero waste, and it is achievable.